sense of smell?
Me, perhaps, I understand.
So, what are we going to do?
I can teach you. Or I can clarify your lesson a while back.
So we got group study. I know, we study two of us.
Yeah.
We study two of us? Oh my gosh, no. We study this in your house.
Yeah. I will teach you this.
Later, what time?
After our last subject.
Okay.
See you.
See you. Bye-bye.
Sense of smell.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Sandy.
Sandy, oh.
Sandy Lina lang.
Halika na, dito may nakalap
Ay,
na
sorry,
balita,
sorry.
kaloka.
Sorry.
Tagal mo ah.
Ito naman.
Oh, sense of smell.
Sense of smell. It is the most primitive and ano kasi yun?
Important.
And important of the senses. Kasi syempre, because
Ang ilong.
yeah, it's the nose we're using every day.
Okay. So,
The what?
So most of animals they have their own senses also, like humans.
Like the bees, they use their sense of smell for hunting food.
And also the others are using their, ano what's that? The erotism by olfaction. Or the olfaction serves as their protections the animals have. For further clarification, let's watch na mga nakalap kong balita there, oh.
Today we follow those invisible traces on the wind, how plants and animals use scent in their everyday lives. It tells animals where breakfast is being served, even when it's still under wraps 60 meters below. It tells them who their friends are and their enemies. The queens of the savannah use it, and the little golden lions of the Brazilian rainforest. Humans can distinguish about 10,000 different smells. But why does a dog need a nose 1,000,000 times more sensitive?
Gets ko na!
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make pa sana to our subject.
Yes.
Psychology 1.
Thank
By the
you.
way, she's my friend who makes tulong-tulong to us. She's Angela.
Angela. Hi,
Ay,
Angela.
But
Okay.
we have dagdag na. Next that we will watch is about olfactory cells and olfactory epithelium. But it is under the physiological stage. Let's watch it now.
Okay.
The detection of specific airborne molecules, referred to as autogens, results in the sense of smell. As the autogen is inhaled, it moves through the nostril and into the nasal cavity. There it comes in contact with the olfactory epithelium. The olfactory bulb, which lies above the nasal cavity, receives sensory information from the olfactory epithelium. Within the upper nasal cavity, the autogens dissolve in the mucus lining, where they can interact with receptors on cells in a specialized region on the olfactory epithelium.
Oh, you get it na!
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
100% sure.
Yes!
Oh, but we forgot something!
Oh, what is that? So, what are we going to do?
Hey guys, let's hang out!
I'm
What are you doing out
magpapaturo. Let's go
Just
here.
make it paturo to us.
Come on.
Are you interested?
I don't know.
Do you
But
know,
also,
do you get the psychology, our...
The discussion of Miss Bartolome a while
I
back.
don't know.
Oh, do you don't know?
So,
So we're in the psychological stage na kasi. But, on furthermore, let's watch some videos here that
so
I
that
don't
you
know.
can also,
Understand.
also understand. So,
Let's go.
come on,
Let's
let's
watch.
watch.
So the olfactory neurons, once they bind this odor molecule and change, as I say, their electrical quality, the voltage, if you will, across their membrane, this signal is transmitted to the brain down a long cable-like structure called an axon, which most brain cells have. Goes through a very thin bone and into a region of your brain called the olfactory bulb, a very small chunk of your brain that actually hangs under the bottom of your brain, just kind of behind your eyes, if you will. And there they make a connection with another set of neurons, so a connection that we call a synapse. And they make a connection with another set of neurons, which then transmits the message to the next step in the brain. So the first step, the first relay station, is the olfactory bulb. And from there, the signal is sent mostly to an area, a specialized area of cortex, of brain cortex called the piriform cortex. Now, this pathway is unusual because the other senses, typically from the primary tissue, the retina or the auditory, the hair cells of the auditory, the cochlea, send their signals first to a tissue in the center of the brain, an organizing region in the center of the brain called the thalamus. And there the signals are sorted and standardized and then moved out into specialized area of the cortex, the visual cortex at the back of your brain, the auditory cortex on the side of your brain, for further processing and presumably building up into a perception. Now, I'm waving my hands a bit here because we really don't understand so much about those processes yet, although we're beginning to. The olfactory system is a bit unusual in that way, in that it does not go through the thalamus. At some point later in the progress of olfactory information, there is an offshoot of some of the fibers that do go to the thalamus, but it's rather minor. So instead, in the olfactory system, you go from the sensory neurons to this olfactory bulb structure, where there's a synapse with another kind of cell. It's called a mitral cell. And those mitral cells take in information from lots of different sensory neurons and decide what's being smelled out there. Because, of course, most of the time we don't smell a single molecule. We smell a blend of molecules, usually a complex blend of molecules. And so pulling that all apart is at least partly the job of these mitral cells, to which the olfactory sensory neurons make a connection. The mitral cells then make some decisions, if you will. They integrate information, and they have an axon also, a long cable, that goes to this area of the brain called the piriform cortex, where they synapse, make connections with yet another cell. So what's remarkable about this in the olfactory system is that from the outside world to cortical tissue, which is the highest level of brain tissue we have, there are only two synapses, two connections. One between the sensory neuron and these cells in the olfactory bulb, and then between these olfactory bulb cells, the mitral cells, and those in the piriform cortex. In any other system, you wouldn't be anywhere yet. In the visual system, you'd still be in the retina after two synapses. You wouldn't have even gotten to the inner retina, let alone to the thalamus or to the visual cortexes, which is 6 or 7 synapses away. The same thing is true of auditory system and many other sensory systems, including taste, by the way, the actual taste system. There are at least 3, 4, 5 synapses to get you to cortical tissue, whereas the olfactory system has this very immediate access to the cortex.
Yan, nagre-record na siya.
Oh, you get it na.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, but we forgot something to say.
So, we're...
Hang up. Hindi na ka na lang pala pumasok. Hang out?
Hang out. Hey guys, let's hang out!
Sabi ko. Hey guys, let's hang out. Yun lang.
Diyos ko, grabe naman. Huwag mo nang i-memorize. Magsalita ka lang ng...
Tapos ay, what are you doing? Ganon.
Okay, okay.
Hindi mo rin kasi maintindihan.
Okay.
Okay.
Sense of smell. We're reviewing.